to take. But let's just remind ourselves of how well they played in that second half, trailing by a goal to nil. A mistake from Arsenal, but it was punished brilliantly for the equaliser.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And we see Ayew. I don't really think this is planned. I think he just acts off instinct. Everyone's pressing, doing their jobs. Conor Gallagher set it off, as he did everything on the night. But just there, it falls to Benteke, and it's a no-nonsense finish. He gets half a yard and he sticks it in that bottom corner, and no frills attached. We see Gabriel here. There's just a little bit of a heavy touch here from Benteke, where I think he could engage him. This next touch is quite heavy, but he decides to sort of just jockey him a little bit and gives him that yard. And like I said, no frills attached. A fantastic finish, isn't it, Righty?
It is. I think that's a little bit of a worry for us, because I think when you look at even when we look at the second goal, we'll see the same thing. We're not getting defenders looking to go and engage, because I think that he's got to get closer to him. He doesn't do it, and I think that they've done brilliantly there to go the goal. Look at Conor Gallagher has been fantastic. He's been brilliant, but the way they set this up, first time from Elise, and again, look, I think he's got to get closer to me. At no stage has Ben White closed that gap. People can say what they want, maybe the goalkeeper, whatever, but the fact is, from here, Elise, for me, came on and he looked a little bit sluggish, to be totally honest, but they were very, very much on point, Palace, in exactly doing what they're doing there, and that is catching Arsenal when they're in that mode of trying to get forward, looking up. Look at that. At no stages that gap gets smaller, so why wouldn't you shoot? I think that they totally capitalised. They've done their homework on Arsenal. They closed down the right people. They shut down the left side. Kieran Tierney didn't do anything. Pepe, very disappointing again. And once they scored, Arsenal did not take it to Palace. So Palace are a team that have come back. We've seen them come back a couple of times, and there's no way they were going to rest on their laurels. They were going to go for Arsenal, and they did, and they were unfortunate not to win today.
What about the equaliser for Arsenal from Palace's point of view?
Well, I think it's one of those. I think, have they had 40 corners and not scored from one this season? It was one of those nights, wasn't it? I mean, I think I can't fault their performance, to be honest, and we see it coming here. And numerous chances to clear the ball. Pepe gets a good delivery in, and first contact, second contact. I mean, it just... I don't think you can really do anything about it. It's just fallen to Lacazette. I mean, he's not really picked up a great position. He's found a little bit of space, and for that ball to go through this many bodies here from Ben White and to land at his feet, I mean, it's just unfortunate.
I think that what you can look at there is just the striker's instinct. Watch him, he gets clouded, but watch what he does. He just goes and finds some space somewhere, and bam, that's a striker's instinct. You know what I mean? And he's taken full advantage of that. He's got himself out of the ruck because the ball might come to him. And in the end, you know, he sniffed it out. And you have to say, from his point of view, trying to get back into that team, it's brilliant for him, but you could see what it means to Patrick. It's devastating for him.
And in terms of, you said Lacazette making an impact, he probably won't like this statistic, but that's 9 Premier League goals he's scored for Arsenal as a substitute. So rather than sulking, he is coming off the bench and he is affecting games.
Well, what he's trying to do is trying to make a point that I should be playing. He is somebody that plays a different kind of striking role that Aubameyang plays. And it's very tough to get them both in the side, because if he's in the side, then Aubameyang plays out on the left, which is not his most potent position. He wants to be down the centre with those 3 guys, whether it's Saka, Ødegaard and Smith-Rowe behind him, to give him the ball. That didn't happen too much today, but then you need someone like Lacazette who can play that roles free and maybe keep the ball in that last third area where they could keep the pressure on Palace, which didn't happen today.
Well, Alexander Lacazette is the reason Arsenal gets something out of the game, and here's what he thinks about it.
Is that what you call the late show? Could it have been any later?
Yeah. I mean, at the end, we could draw. The main thing is to avoid the lose. We wanted to win, obviously. We start well the game, and don't know what's happened in the team. We stopped playing. So I think this is something we need to work for the future, and to hope to come back on top of the league.
When it's so late on, what's the feeling? Is it one of elation or relief?
The relief as well for me, because it's my first goal in the season. I didn't have a lot of minutes. I know I need to work hard to gain some minutes, and I try to enjoy as much as I can when I'm on the pitch.
You see, you weren't quite sure what happened after the team took the lead, but when you came on, your purpose seemed to be to lift the crowd, to lift the energy levels. How much was that in your mind, and how much did the manager say that to you?
He told us that when we play well, the fans are with us, and obviously for the opponent is harder. So we know we need to always be on 100% to win and to have the crowd with us. So this is what I try to do today.
But he did help the team. He hasn't started a Premier League game since April, Alexander Lacazette. Now, at 1-0 Arsenal, there was a huge talking point. James McArthur on Saka, who we didn't see reappear in the second half. You've seen it time and time again. Let's have another look.
Yeah. Well, he didn't reappear because he's totally volleyed him. You know, and the more you see it, the worse it gets. Simply because, like Glenn mentioned earlier on, it's a kind of a professional knows. You know what's happening. When this ball is in the air now, he's seeing Xhaka touch it there. There's no way that he even looks to hesitate, to stop going through with that. And now he's going to act like he's innocent. Watch. So he can now see Saka's kicked the ball now. Look at him. That's vicious for me, because he's absolutely blasted through his leg. And how they do not see that upstairs is absolutely beyond me.
I can't deny it. I mean, it's there for everyone to see. I think on first glance you could say that he didn't see him, but he didn't nip in last minute. He won it at almost chest height.
Yes.
He lifted his foot and he won it. And I think the disappointing thing from McArthur's point of view is there was no hesitation on the follow through. It was full blooded. And when you see replay after replay, it's hard to deny that it was a red card.
OK, it's a big talking point at 1-0, so let's bring in the former Premier League referee, Dermot Gallagher. Dermot, Peter Banks obviously had a long, hard look at that in VAR. Why do you think that he was happy with the on-field decision?
Difficult for me to say, Steve. I'm with Glenn and Righty. I think, you know, Saka clears the ball. McArthur goes in, he doesn't pull out. And I think he's extremely lucky not to get a red card. What I would say is, if you look, this came from a free kick given away by Saka, ironically, 43 seconds earlier. And if you're able to roll me the free kick that Saka gave away, he also got a yellow card.
Yes.
And I would say that what I was trying to explain, right, is that there has to be a band within what a yellow card is. But when you put the two together, there's no comparison in Saka's tackle to McArthur's tackle. So what I would say is, if that's not a red card, it must be as high as you can possibly go before you hit the cut line. But I think he's extremely lucky.
Crazy. Honestly, that's because that even without VAR, you look at that's a sending off. So was it Peter Scott?
Banks.
Peter Banks? How he should, like Dermot always has to come and then, you know, has to try and justify their mistakes. But why isn't Peter Scott here telling us why that is not a red card? Why is it like, try and protect him? No, he should be here telling us why that is not sending off.
I think
we know they're not allowed to do that.
But I think me and Righty can see that as quickly as they see it, and we see 2-3 times, and it's like, it's a red card.
You've got to be able to see, like when we was talking, we saw that when Saka kicks the ball, you think, you pull out, you naturally pull out. He actually went even more forceful. It's almost like he's done exactly what he wanted to do. Saka doesn't come out for the second half because he's injured. And I think, you know what, he probably would struggle to play on Friday. Look at that. No intention to pull out.
Referee's in the picture, isn't he?
Unbelievable. Referee's right there.
I think if he makes contact with him, but there's an effort to withdraw that force, then it's a yellow.
God,
there's no. I mean, it's a forceful challenge when he's won it a second or more earlier.
Whether that was a straight red, which you all three think so, Dermot. 4 minutes earlier, McArthur on Emile Smith-Rowe. Could this have been a yellow? Could he have been on a yellow anyway?
Quite easily. But what you would say, Steve, you've got to be fair to the referee. If he's already on a yellow card and he commits this tackle, you go, well, yeah, he's lucky not to get a second yellow card. But he didn't get a yellow card for this. So the second one that he decided was a yellow card, you can't suddenly say, well, that would have been a red, because it doesn't follow that pattern. It's got to be the other way round. So in fairness to Mike Dean, I would say, yeah, possibly a yellow card there. A lot of people say yellow card. But you can't say he would have had a second yellow card and gone off.
Derm, I'm a bit confused with that one, because that just looks like a foul to me.
And that's what I said, right here, you know, possibly. And I don't think everybody will sit in the same camp as that, right? There's no doubt about that. I think the nature of the game is it's very subjective. You know that. I mean, we've both been on the field together and we see things differently. That's how it is. You know, now that we've retired, we still see things differently. We see lots of things we agree on. There's no doubt about that. But the nature of the beast says that, you know, one's going to think one, one's going to think another. So I say possibly a yellow card. But even if he'd got having not got a yellow card, you can't say that he would have been sent off, because in his mind will be, would he have made that challenge on Saka then?
I don't know what to say about that, Derm.
I did say there's times we disagree, right?
We did, yeah.
Does he disagree a little less forcefully now he's not playing?
Dermot was always
fun
cool.
on the pitch and he's fun off the pitch.
No, Dermot was always cool with me, as long as I weren't waving my arms about. That's all Dermot. Don't wave your arms at me, righty. Just, you know, say what you want, don't wave your arms. But like I said, I feel sorry for Dermot. He's the one who has to come in and clear up the mess.